Bear to You by Sylvia Day, Chapter 12, Part 2. Before listening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. I flipped him the bird over my shoulder and raced up the short steps into Bryant Park, a lushly green and tranquil oasis in the midst of the city. Just crossing up and over from the sidewalk was like being transported to a completely different realm. Dwarfed by the towering skyscrapers surrounding it, Bryant Park was a garden land behind a beautiful old library. A place where time slowed, children laughed over the innocent joy of a carousel ride, and books were treasured companions. Unfortunately for me, the gorgeous ogre from one world chased me into the other. Gideon caught me by the waist. "Don't run," he hissed in my ear. "You're acting like a nut job. Maybe because you drive me fucking crazy." His arms tightened into steel bands. "You're mine. Tell me Carrie knows that. Right. Like Magdalene knows you're mine." I wished he had something near my mouth that I could bite. "You're causing a scene. We could have done this in my office, if you weren't so damn stubborn. I had plans, asshat. And you're fucking them up. For me." My voice broke, tears welling as I felt the number of eyes on us. I was going to get fired for being an embarrassing spectacle. "You're fucking up everything." Gideon instantly released me, turning me to face him. His grip on my shoulders ensured I still couldn't get away. Christ. He crushed me against him, his lips in my hair. "Don't cry. I'm sorry." I beat my fist against his chest, which was as effectual as hitting a rock wall. "What's wrong with you? You can go out with a catty bitch who calls me a whore and thinks she's going to marry you. But I can't have lunch with a dear friend who's been pulling for you from the beginning." "Eva." He cupped the back of my head with one hand and pressed his cheek to my temple. "Maggie just happened to be at the same restaurant where I had dinner with my business associates. I don't care. You want to talk about a look on someone's face. The look on yours. How could you look at her like that after what she said to me?" "Angel." His lips moved ardently over my face. "That look was for you. Maggie caught me outside, and I told her I was heading home to you. I can't help how I look when I'm thinking about us being alone together. And you expect me to believe she smiled about that? She told me to tell you hello, but I figured that wouldn't go over well, and there was no way I was ruining our night over her." My arms slid around his waist beneath his jacket. "We need to talk tonight, Gideon. There are things I have to tell you. If a reporter looks in the right place and gets lucky, we have to keep our relationship private or end it. Either would be better for you." Gideon cupped my face and pressed his forehead to mine. "Neither is an option. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out." I pushed up onto my toes and pressed my mouth to his. Our tongues stroked and dipped, the kiss wildly passionate. I was vaguely aware of the multitude of people milling around us, the buzz of numerous conversations, and the steady rumble of the ceaseless midtown traffic, but none of it mattered while I was sheltered by Gideon. Cherished by him. He was both tormentor and pleasurer, a man whose mood swings and volatile passions rivaled my own. "There," he whispered, running his fingertips down my cheek. "Let that go viral. You're not listening to me, you crazy stubborn man. I have to go. We'll ride home together after work." He backed away, holding my hand until distance pulled our fingers apart. When I turned toward the ivy-draped restaurant, I saw Mark and Stephen waiting for me by the entrance. They made such a pair, with Mark in his suit and tie, and Stephen in his worn jeans and boots. Stephen stood with his hands in his pockets and big grin on his attractive face. I feel like I should applaud. That was better than watching a chick flick. My face heated and I shifted on my feet. Mark opened the door and waved me inside. I think you can ignore my previous words of wisdom about Cross's womanizing. Thanks for not firing me, I replied wryly as we waited for the hostess to check our reservation and table, or at least feeding me first. Stephen patted my shoulder. Mark can't afford to lose you. Pulling out a chair for me, Mark smiled. How else will I give Stephen regular updates on your love life? He's a soap opera addict, you know. He loves romantic dramas. I snorted. You're kidding. Stephen ran a hand over his chin and smiled. I'll never admit it one way or the other. A man's got to have his secrets. My mouth curved, but I was painfully aware of my own hidden truths. And how quickly time was passing before I'd have to reveal them.